got 15 to 20 minutes a day, I can guarantee you, give it a week. Give it a week. 15 to 20 minutes a day. Give it a week. You're going to be more woke than you've ever been. I promise you. You'll be more intuitive. It'll be more sensitive. You may be, if you have had issues actually having dreams, you may be more aware of your dreams. If you've had issues being active in your dreams, you will be able to be active in your dreams. Okay, if there's some clarity issues, you'll begin to have way more clarity. You're realigning the energy. You're stretching out the pineal gland. Peace and love, everyone. It's Legaci Jackson here in the wellness room. I'm so grateful that you're joining me again today. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to continue on our chakra series, and we're going to talk about the third eye. So we've already gone over the throat chakra and some of the other ones, but now I want to talk about the third eye. Everyone talks about the third eye, and especially, on the Kemetic side of things with the Eye of Ra and all of that. But I want to just give a little bit more insight on the third eye today. And we know, as usual, I'll go over the quick basics. So the third eye, it's the key of A. The color is indigo. It's the chakra of cosmic intelligence. The main stone is lapis lazuli, but any stone that resonates with that color, like a dark blue sapphire or something like that, will really help kind of activate and balance this chakra. The Hindu divinity of this chakra, believe it or not, is Rudra, which is he's pretty much the king of the gods. Interesting story about Rudra. He's kind of like, like in the DC comics, how like Catwoman is, sometimes she's a good guy, sometimes she's a bad guy. You have that story with Rudra, right, where there's certain parts where he's super noble and virtuous, and then you have other parts where Rudra could, potentially be corrupt. And I think that is very fitting, that he is the divinity, the Hindu divinity at least, over this chakra, because when you have clarity, you're one side. When you don't have clarity, you're the other side. So that's very interesting. Now, the seed sound is a bit of a controversial thing. Sometimes people say that it's the Kasam sound, which is actually partially true, because if you see that image with the chakra, maybe I'll put it here or something. You see the image with the chakra, those two petals on the side actually ends up getting activated with that sound. But that's actually a Sanskrit letter. The actual seed sound is Om. And we'll get into that in a little bit when we talk about some of our tools. Because I like to use that, at least part of that sound, to begin to vibrate it and to feel it. One of my things is I want to make sure that when we're doing this work, that you're actually experiencing and really feeling these things. I want to take the mysticism out of mysticism and give you guys some tools that really actually work. So today, again, as usual, we're going to go over a couple of tools, and then I'm going to give you mainly 3 tools, and we'll practice those. And then I'm going to give you some additional tools and things to go and research on your own. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment. Tell me if these tools are working for you. Hit the bell when you subscribe. You know, all of the things that you already know you got to do. So, let's jump in. Tool number 1. So the first tool I kind of gave this one away in the beginning intro as a spoiler alert, and it's the sacred seed sound for this chakra, and it's the sound of Om. But I want to show you how to use it in such a way that you can actually feel this thing. I want you to be able to feel your third eye actually vibrate in this video. That is the main goal of this video. Is I want, by the end of this video, I want you to actually feel this thing at work. Sorry, sometimes I move around and in my kind of halo, like whatever, you know. So I use it in a few ways depending on what I'm trying to do. So and I do different variations. Now, Om is not just the O and the M. It's actually A, U, M. There's 3 sounds in Om. Om, Om. Now, that's because here in the solar plexus, there's the A, and then the heart is U, and then it comes up to Om, to the third eye. Okay? You can also just go straight for the You can do it like that. So you can do Om, you can do E or Me, you can do Mori, or you can go Om. Now, because Om is the actual sound, we're going to spend more time on Om, okay? So it's A, U, M. Now, I want to show you where my mouth is, what the inside of my mouth is. My tongue normally rests on the roof of my mouth. On this one, because I want to increase the vibration, I leave my tongue in the center so that I can create more space in my mouth, okay? My jaw is loose, it's not tight. I'm intentionally doing it in such a way that I can feel my vocal cords vibrate, all right? When I breathe in, my teeth are together, and I'm breathing in through the mouth and just through the nose, just enough so that right in here, I can feel that breath connect. See, what happens is when the third eye, why is it so important? Why is it the one that people talk about so much? The third eye, when it's blocked, you focus more on confidence than clarity. Now, this is why, understand, if I was to play the A major chord, what is in there? What note is in there? E. What is E? It's related to the solar plexus. Solar plexus are all confidence. So, and going back to what we talked about, how some of these chakras can get unbalanced, okay? If it gets unbalanced, what you're then dealing with is more confidence, less clarity, because that E note in that chord is going to try to take up more weight. Also, what's in there? C sharp. Some of you guys understand where I'm going with this already. C sharp is the higher end of the root chakra. Okay, so now we're pulling up on that root chakra, which can again create some misunderstandings, some aggression, some tension, some anxiety. What happens when someone is delusional? They're not grounded. C sharp. They're not centered. They may be confident in what they're saying, but they don't have clarity. E. Okay? Ace. We have to make sure that we're balancing this thing, right? But when we have it in good harmony, there's a balance there. Okay? So understand that we'll go over in a little bit the mantra that really connects all of these things together. But one of the reasons why we do the is because we're getting the solar plexus, or We're coming up to the heart, connecting the heart. We're taking the confidence, filtering it through the heart, and bringing it into the mind. Okay, now, why is clarity more important than confidence? Because I can be confident all day that I'm gonna walk from the top of a mountain down to the base of the mountain blindfolded. I can be confident all day, but would you rather have confidence and a blindfold, or clarity and a map? So when we're looking at the third eye and we're doing the sacred seed sound and we're opening up the third eye, we're opening ourselves to having clarity and a map. Eyes wide open and a map. All right. The second thing is misunderstandings. You can obviously see how a lack of clarity can create misunderstandings. The next is the inability to read universal dialogues. So what is a universal dialogue? It's a conversation that's always happening. It's in your aura. It's in your thoughts. It's in the food you eat. It's in your self-talk. Okay? A universal dialogue, I can give you an example of one. If you're tired, if you're exhausted, that's the dialogue of your vitality. If all of your relationships are toxic and unhealthy, that's the dialogue of your relationship with others. If you keep losing your keys or something like that, that could be a dialogue actually with your ancestors that are trying, or your higher self that's trying to get your attention. Okay? The concept of reading the room, not being able to understand and see boundaries, not realizing that you're overstepping boundaries, the inability to read universal dialogues, intuition. See, the heart is empathy. The third eye is intuition. Right? So when I take this empathy and I'm honest about it, now I have the clarity. It's intuitive because I'm connected at the heart. I'm filtered through the truth, and now I have the clarity. So the last thing is just the inability to think clearly. You're unable to clear your thoughts. You can't necessarily filter your thoughts when you're meditating or trying to be mindful. And so that's why the breath is so important with the third eye, because actually the mind, if you can see in some comedic photos, they'll see Ptah, P-T-A-H, standing in front, and it'll be like the breath, right? He's also the architect, the universal architect. This is the chakra for cosmic intelligence, and they'll consider Ptah the breath as well, right? There's different ways of breathing. There's a whole science on breathing with your pranayama. The way that the breath is organized is the way that the mind is organized. Try to breathe calmly and think angry thoughts at the same time. It's not really possible. Try to breathe in such a gentle and harmonious way and not be able to clear the mind. So the intake breath actually cools the body. Oh. Let it sit and resonate in the body for a moment. Then we go again. You'll feel it in your nose. You'll feel it here. But we really want to once we feel it, keep playing with the sound until you can adjust and kind of tune your vocal cords in such a way. Do I need to go slightly deeper? Do I need to go slightly, right? How do I need to adjust it? Really, if you can get like a musical instrument and do a low A, that's really gonna hit it for you, because that's already the key, right? It's already the note. Number 2 in the toolkit is the eye roll and the yawn. Okay, so the yawn is actually known to cool down the brain. Now, again, we're cooling it down, okay, because we're under when it's overfiring, which is what it is, and most of the time nowadays is the mind is moving too fast, right? We're usually not understimulated, we're usually overstimulated. So that's why I'm using more cooling techniques. I don't want to give you guys the warming or heating techniques right now, just because if used incorrectly, that can create monkey mind and a whole bunch of other things. And right now, if you have a cell phone nowadays, you're probably more stimulated than not, right? Okay, so it's you'll see a lot of gurus and everything, yogis, whatever, eyes rolled back, looking up towards the crown. So with some of these other chakras, there's more obvious yoga poses. This is the yoga pose. This is the posture. This is the asana that helps with the third eye, rolling the eyes back. Now, if I yawn and roll it back, I cool it and I stretch it, right? So this would be almost like yin yoga for the third eye. Now the mudra that I'm holding is here. Index finger, thumb, knuckles together. That's the mudra I'm holding too. That's also going to activate. You do that 15 to 20 minutes a day, I can guarantee you, give it a week. Give it a week, 15 to 20 minutes a day. Give it a week. You're going to be more woke than you've ever been. I promise you. You'll be more intuitive. You'll be more sensitive. You may be, if you have had issues actually having dreams, you may be more aware of your dreams. If you've had issues being active in your dreams, you will be able to be active in your dreams. Okay, if there's some clarity issues, you'll begin to have way more clarity. You're realigning the energy. You're stretching out the pineal gland. Come on, I'm giving y'all this game, baby. I'm giving you stuff that's really gonna work. All you gotta do is do it. I promise you. Now, I'm not saying just be all out in public yawning and rolling your eyes, you know what I'm saying? Someone might think you're having a seizure or something. But if you have some space where a safe, sacred space where you can do this in 15, 20 minutes a day, if you're part of the crystal culture, you're already meditating 15 to 20 minutes a day. Do this during your meditation. really work it out. See how this works for you, especially if you're sun gazing at sunrise or sunset an hour within an hour of during sunrise, within an hour during sunset, right? Especially twilight, post-morning twilight, and then pre-evening twilight. If you're hitting it, you are really gonna notice this thing. I can guarantee you that you're gonna feel the effects. So yeah, now the next tool, and I kind of gave this as a bonus thing last time. The next tool is actually kind of 3 tools in one. Okay, now I recommend I really like to recommend doing just one at a time and really going in for a full week, non-stop mantras. Okay, now the reason why I say a full week is because for me, I go hard with the mantras, and then after a week's period of time, once I get to the point to where I'm just saying it in my head like it's a catchy song that I just catch myself saying it just because I'm walking out the front door, I'm just standing up and all of a sudden I just start saying it, that's when I get to the point to where I just start looking around. Because I've now attuned my energy, even my subconscious energy, to that mantra. So now I'm just looking around to see what have I manifested using that mantra. What are the things that come with that energy that I've worked on, right? And so I'm going to give 3 mantras. Now you can do them 108 times a day each, or you can just do one, like I said, nonstop over and over and over again, more than 108 times. You just keep going, keep doing that mantra, and see what happens. But the first one is the mantra for the moon, which is said to be the planet that rules this chakra, and that's Om Shram Shrim Shram So Chandraya Namaha. That's the one with this tantric seed sounds, or you could just go Om Chandraya Namaha. Alright? The next one is this one, it begins and accelerates the process of achieving true knowledge. Remember, this is the chakra for cosmic intelligence. Okay? And it's a Brahma mantra. Okay? So Brahma is the creator divinity, the divinity of creation. And they say that humans actually can't create. Everything has already been created. But what we can do is attune our mind to the frequency of the creators, of creativity. Connect with the heart through the third eye. And then an idea is born as a spark, right? That idea is born as a spark. So that one is Sat Chid Ekam Brahma. Sat Chid Ekam Brahma. Sat Chid Ekam Brahma. Okay? That one, like I said, it's going to accelerate the process of achieving true knowledge. Now, I can promise you, because I've tried this one, if you go in for a week on this one, you're going to come across information, whether it's just you're just flipping through the TV channels, or you are scrolling through social media, you're just searching online, maybe you're not even on the computer, you're just walking around your community, and and all of a sudden you may notice, you may have some higher self insight just by looking at the trees. And you may understand, and actually, let me give you my example of this. I did the mantra, like I said, I went hard on it, and I'm walking to the store. I used to just the store wasn't too far from my old house. I'm walking to the store with my son, and he has Mercury in the 12th house in the sign of Cancer. So I was kind of coaching him on communication, and I used the trees as an example of how the leaves and the wind are working together, and how the tree is swaying, and but how the communications, I can't pinpoint it exactly now, but I also talked about boundaries with that on the way home from the store with him. Notice how the branches are swaying, but they're not breaking off. And I was using that as an example of compromise. And I was able to use a tree and the branches of a tree and the leaves of a tree to explain at least 5 or 6 different higher concepts just in a walk to the grocery store and back. And so I highly recommend this one. It's definitely going to connect the heart and the third eye for sure. Now the last one, I actually would consider it the mantra for the third eye. It's a mirror mantra, so it starts the same way that it ends. And this one is after you've done the work on the bottom nakshatras, the bottom 5, really the bottom 3.5. But since the throat lies under that and the upper heart lies under that, I just say the bottom 5. Really, once you've done the work on that, what this does is it begins to send the kundalini back up your spine. I highly recommend this one when whenever your chrism drops, right? So that's whenever whenever the moon is transiting your sun's nakshatra every 27 days, on the 28 days, right? Whenever the sun, so say for instance, I have the sun exalted in Ashwini Nakshatra, okay? So every month, when the moon is transiting the sign of Aries, and it's in those first 13.20 degrees, 13 degrees, 20 minutes of Aries, okay? On that day, I should be doing this mantra. I should be eating fresh fruits and vegetables, cleansing. I shouldn't be orgasming and having, using my sacred juices frivolously. I don't get angry and none of that. You want to have a chill day. You don't want to break this fragile oil, and then you do this mantra, okay? And you're going to notice the difference. Your energy and vitality is going to be increased. Okay? You're going to feel good. Like you just had some yohimbe, or you're going to feel blissful, like sativa blissful. Okay? You're going to be on a sativa natural high. I promise you that. So this one is Om Aim Kleem So Kleem Aim. Om Aim Kleem So Kleem Aim. Om Aim Kleem So Kleem Aim. I actually, if I'm going hard on a mantra, I try to turn that into a beat. Like if I'm listening to a song or something, I might be slapping some Drake. You feel me? I might be making a beat. I'm literally doing the mantra to the beat. If I'm in the middle of a conversation, in the back of my mind, I'm doing the mantra. If I'm exercising while I'm working out, I'm doing the mantra. If I'm going on a walk, if I'm driving in the car, wherever I can, I'm doing the mantra. And I promise you, you go hard on the mantras, you're gonna win. All right? So just a brief recap of the 3 tools that I gave you. We went over the sacred seed sounds and some of the variations. The seed sound is Om. The me mori. Now you notice with mori though, you can actually be singing 2 notes at once. You heard the higher octave and the lower octave. Mori. You hit the 2 notes. Anyways, and then we do the eye roll and the yawn. Okay, and then the third one is I gave you 3 mantras within one toolkit. But the mantra toolkit is key, especially for the third eye, because when you do mantras in silence, they're more potent. How do you do it in silence? With your mind. What is this chakra? It's the one closely related to the mind. So the mantras are key. And then of course, I always give you a few additional little tips or techniques. Dark chocolate. You want to get some cacao nibs. Actually, like you don't. The least amount of milk you can get in it. You really just want some cacao nibs. Cacao nibs. It's part of my daily stack. Seriously. I can go with some yohimbe, my daily vitamins, some cacao nibs, and some goji berries. Loving it. You try it. Just try it. Just try it. Try it. It's more of a male stack than a female stack. I'd replace the yohimbe if I was a woman with something else, maybe ashwagandha or something. But I love yohimbe. Blueberries. Blueberries are great. I love blueberries. Meditation. If you can meditate, you're naturally just gonna activate the third eye. Sun gazing. For a few minutes up to an hour a day. I don't recommend doing an hour regularly. But you definitely only want to sun gaze within the hour after sunrise or after sunset. Sunrise is a little less harsh. And then, like I said, the mantras. And the other thing is just being logical. Emotions don't think. Now, we do want to connect the heart and the mind, but you want to really connect both sides, right? The logical Mercury side, the moon sign side, which is the emotions, and the devotion. So you want to use your emotions to recall memory and for devotion, as opposed to decision making, which is more of a mercurial thing. So I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. We've been in this thing for a minute now. I really gave you guys some game here. I hope you use it. Comment, tell me what works. If you have any questions, comment, ask me the questions. I'm definitely going to respond to you. I love you. You're beautiful. You're great. All of the above. And I appreciate you, man. Make sure you share this video with somebody that you feel like it'll add value to. Yee! We out. Peace.